Hey there guys, thanks for tuning in. In this video we're going to talk about the law of attraction. In this video I'm going to share my 2 cents on the law of attraction, give a couple of my own experiences as well as some science behind this whole thing. So let's get into it. So in recent years, this whole term, law of attraction, has been used more and more, and you hear people talking about it more and more, and it's kind of coming into people's attention more than it ever has before. The law of attraction, simply put, is if you focus on something or you believe something will happen to you, eventually it will happen. Simply thinking about something enough and believing something hard enough, focusing on it hard enough, will bring it into your life and make it come true. Whatever this is. It can be a goal, it can be, you could be terminally ill and you want to use the law of attraction to cure yourself and get out of that illness. You could be poor and you could want to become rich. You could be single and you want to meet someone, all these kind of things. Basically the law of attraction is a seemingly magical and free way to acquire absolutely anything that you could want simply by focusing on it and thinking about it. So this seems really too good to be true, and is there actually any science behind this whole thing? And there is really not any concrete science, there's not really any concrete studies because you can't study or measure this kind of thing, and there's no really concrete evidence on this, but for basically thousands of years this was highly believed to be a known feature of the universe, a law of the universe. And the basic idea is that thoughts are things, and if you simply think about something, then on a level you've sort of already created it, you've already brought it into existence. So that's really the science behind it. Now, if you're not a young person like me and you've kind of lived through life, you know, you're in your 40s, 50s, you know, you're kind of an older person, you probably immediately dismiss this as hogwash. But in this video I want to share my own experiences with this, because I do believe that it has had a drastic impact on my life. It's drastically improved my life. So I want to tell a little story for you guys. Basically this starts out about 4 or 5 years ago, when I was still sort of in high school, and I was having a lot of trouble in high school. I was having trouble with my grades. I was just in a real rough place. I didn't have any hope for myself. I didn't think that I would get out of there or that I would ever go to college, and everyone around me was painting my future prospects as being very, very bleak. Because when you're in high school, everyone tells you, your teachers, your friends, even your parents, not my parents, but people around you will tell you that if you don't go to college and you don't get your high school diploma, you don't do this and that, your prospects are very, very bleak. Long story short, I was always very negative, pretty miserable, pretty lonely, didn't have many friends at the time, and I always told myself, I always believed that I had really, really bad luck. And anytime that I said those words, oh, it sounds like my luck, oh, I have terrible luck, my luck would seemingly get worse and worse. So bad things kept on happening to me. I was rarely ever happy or satisfied with life at that point in my life. So I finished high school. I went out and traveled for a bit. Came back. Went to college for 2 years. When I got out of college, I got in this horrible car accident and had trouble finding a job out of college that was in my field. I eventually found one, but it was like a office job, and I hated it. And I went to go wash windows after that, and the whole meanwhile I was going through court stuff, and I was having to go to court dates, and I had this huge looming stress over my head, and it just seemingly endless bad luck would find its way into my life. All these bad happenings would interject into my reality. So eventually I do get over all of that. I end up winning my case, and I end up not going to jail, and it seemed that I had finally had good luck for once. But in the months leading up to the final court date of that whole ordeal, I had been using the law of attraction. I figured, well, it certainly can't hurt, and I don't have any more money to spend on lawyers. This is free. This is an option. It could improve my life, and so I tried it. It was literally as simple as telling myself 10, 20, 30, hundreds of times a day even, that I have the best luck in the world. Great things will happen to me. I will get what I want. I will be happy. I will succeed. I will be satisfied with life, etc., etc. I just told myself these positive affirmations, and convinced myself on possibly more than one level that I had good luck and that good things would happen to me. And so after I started doing this, I mean, it's been years since that last court date. Pretty much everything in my life has improved. I usually, most of the time, I will get what I want out of life. And strangely enough, after that point, when I kept on using this law of attraction thing, I would usually get what I want. I would usually succeed in whatever I was trying to achieve. I would have really good luck. Bad things seemed to not happen to me anymore. And if something bad did happen, it would mysteriously sort itself out very, very quickly. And also, my outlook on life and my general attitude towards things, and my vision of the future of whether it's going to be good or bad, or if I should be optimistic or hopeful. I was optimistic and I was hopeful, and I found myself not thinking negatively as much. So my opinion is that the science behind this is more of a neuroscience or a brain science, in that you are very simply changing the background noise in your mind to something more optimistic, more constructive, more positive, and convincing yourself that you are lucky and that good things can and will happen to you, that you will get what you want. So if you think about it, most people, including myself for most of my life, the background noise in your mind is usually negative. A lot of negative thoughts, a lot of worrying thoughts, a lot of a lot of bad stuff in there, and it's all subconscious. It's not conscious. You're not consciously thinking these things, but in the back of your mind, this is just going on. So through using this law of attraction thing, you are retraining your mind and you're retraining your subconscious background noise. And through doing that, you essentially change your reality, and you do bring things into your life that you were wanting, that you were praying for, that you thought to be impossible, and that you thought would never come into your life. And this is because if you believe that something is impossible, if you believe that you can't do something, if subconsciously you think that you can't do something, you're also telling yourself that you don't want it. And if you don't want it, even on a subconscious level, if you don't want something, it's not going to come into your reality. You will unknowingly and non-consciously be preventing these things from coming into your life. When the opportunity presents itself that you can get this thing that you've been wanting all this time, you don't believe it's possible, so you don't want it. And because you don't want it, you're going to avoid it. You're going to look the other way. You're going to somehow miss this opportunity, this chance. But if you have trained your subconscious mind and your conscious mind, your background thoughts, and just your overall attitude to an attitude of impossible, and I'm unlucky, and I have every reason to be depressed and hate life, and no one likes me, and I don't look good, I have acne, I'm too skinny, I'm too fat, I'm not confident enough, I'm not something enough, that is the nature of the human mind, I would say, to just gravitate towards that kind of thinking. But when you use the law of attraction, you are retraining your mind, just as you would train a muscle or something. And it's, you could say it's sort of a form of meditation, except, it doesn't take hardly any concentration. It is simply you are repeating in your mind that you are very lucky, that good things will happen to you, that you will get what you want, that you are capable, that if one person can do it, another can, that no one in this life is really special. So if someone else achieved it, well then gosh, I can achieve it. And if every person, no matter what their age, is essentially a grown-up toddler. What makes any of us special? If one person can do it, another can. The majority of the limitations that we place on ourselves and on our life and on our goals are just, they are imaginary, they're constructed, they are negative, they are a temporary mindset, they have no effect on actual reality. When you are having all these negative thoughts in your head, that something is impossible, that people don't like you, that you think you're ugly, that you're insecure about all these things. That's not in the real world. That's in your mental world. Okay. The reality of most situations and what's actually going on is usually never as bad as you think it is. Things are usually not as difficult as you think they are to achieve. It is a battle. It is a horrible, bloody, violent, constant war that everyone has to fight in their mind, metaphorically speaking, on a daily basis. And everyone kind of has this on varying degrees. There's people who have mental disorders, who have very, very malicious, very bad, very, very negative inner self-thought, subconscious thought. background noise, and there's people who kind of barely have it, but they get it from time to time. It's very, very annoying. And regardless of who you are, it would be very, very nice, wouldn't it, to be able to just get rid of this or be able to control it somehow. And you absolutely certainly can. And the law of attraction, ultimately, in my opinion, comes down to the science of meditation, right? Meditating is simply being in a concentrated state, focusing on one thing and training your mind to be able to control thoughts and to control emotions, and or turn off thoughts, get rid of all thoughts and get rid of all emotions and only focus on one thing. It is training the mind like a muscle, and the law of attraction is no different. You're training your subconscious mind to be constructive and positive and optimistic, and you're able to train it in a way that you can make it do this at will, right? So yeah, ultimately that, in my opinion, is the science behind the law of attraction. With my personal experience behind it, I would say that it definitely does work. This is something that will change your life if you stick with it and you practice it daily. I would recommend this to anyone who comes across this video, or anyone who is considering doing this. It's not BS, and yeah, I just can't recommend it enough. To recap, how you do the law of attraction, how you practice this practice, is you think about the things that you want in your life and the things that you want to change in your life, and you simply repeat in your mind about 100 times a day that it is possible, that you can do it, that you have very good luck, that you're a very fortunate person, that you're capable, that you can get what you want, that you will get what you want. And mysteriously, by some magic of the universe or by some magic of the mind, you will get these things will come into your life and you will achieve them. And yeah, it's that's my opinion on it. I think that this whole practice is it is very simply like putting a key into a lock that is in your mind that everyone creates for themselves, and you unlock this lock and you let things come into your life. You're open to good fortune, whereas when you are always thinking, oh, that sounds like my luck, I have bad luck, oh geez, the world's a horrible place, you will attract bad things, and bad things will find you, and bad things will happen to you. So the mind and the subconscious mind, your conscience is a muscle just like any other in the body, and metaphorically you can train that muscle just like any other muscle, and I highly recommend that you do. And well, that's all that I want to talk about in this video. And if you did enjoy this video, as always, give it a thumbs up and leave a comment if you want, and subscribe if you feel the need, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks.